Hello class. Today we are going to learn more about life processes in living organisms part 2, that is chapter 3. In this the subunits are reproduction, in that we have two types, asexual and sexual reproduction. After that the next unit is reproduction and modern technology, and the next is going to be reproductive health. So, what is reproduction then? We very well know reproduction is a process in which a young one is being produced from the parents. In this picture, you can see several reproductive methods. You can see a mango is being reproduced with the help of the sapling. That means a seed is being sown and small saplings are being produced of a mango. You can see here beautiful roses. These roses are reproduced from the stem. Here you can see a leaf which is that of a bryophyllum, and through the margins you can see small plantlets which are being growing. So, this bryophyllum grows with the help of vegetative propagation, that is leaf. Here you can see a beautiful puppy of this dog. You very well know it has been reproduced by the method of sexual reproduction. Here you can see a potato in which small saplings are being produced from the eyes of that potato. That means this method is a vegetative type of reproduction. You can also see the carrots over here which are being growing through the roots. Now, here is a picture of a family. You can see the father and the mother and their two offsprings, the daughter and the son. If you look very closely, you can see the son resembles the mother and the daughter resembles the father. That means these offsprings, the son and the daughter, are being reproduced by sexual reproduction. Now, we are going to just bifurcate these types of reproduction as sexual and asexual. So, in this episode, we are going to learn only about asexual reproduction. Now, in asexual reproduction, this method takes place only by a single cell. An exact carbon copy of the individual is being produced in asexual reproduction. There is no involvement of gametes in asexual reproduction. But in sexual reproduction, there are two male and the female gametes which are being involved, and these two male and the female gametes unite together to produce an offspring which has got slight variation, which means the DNA recombines and therefore the offspring has certain variation. Now, in detail we will learn about the types of asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction can take place both in unicellular and multicellular organisms. What do you mean by unicellular organisms? Yes children, you very well know unicellular means one single cell. Organism having one single cell and performs all the life processes that a multicellular organism also performs. What do you mean by multicellular organisms? Of course, having n number of cells, having different organ systems, that is digestive system, circulatory system and all that. Now, we proceed to asexual reproduction in unicellular organisms. In unicellular organisms, asexual reproduction takes place by three methods. The first is the binary fission, second is the multiple fission, and third is the budding. Now we proceed with binary fission. You very well know that amoeba does not have a particular shape. It changes its shape according to its requirements. But during this process of reproduction, the amoeba does not change its shape, it becomes constant. The nucleus, which is centrally placed, starts converting itself into a dumbbell shape, and after this step the nucleus parts into two. The cytoplasm also starts collecting around the nucleus, wherein after a certain period the brood increases and two daughter cells are being produced. So this process of reproduction in case of amoeba is called binary fission. Because the amoeba does not have any shape, the reproduction, that is the binary fission, takes place in any axis. Now we proceed to the next type of asexual method, that is multiple fission. Multiple means what? So many. We very well know that the climatic conditions are not the same throughout the year. When the climatic conditions are unfavorable, this amoeba develops a hard covering which is called as the cyst around the parent cell. And then what happens? The nucleus starts multiplying into many nuclei inside that hard covering which is called as the cyst. And around this many nuclei, cytoplasm gets accumulated and many daughter cells are being formed inside the cyst. But when again the favorable conditions return, the cyst bursts open and these so many daughter cells are being released as individual amoebulae. This is about the second method, that is multiple fission in unicellular organisms. Now the third method in unicellular organism is budding. In this case, we take the example of yeast. You must have heard about this word yeast. You very well know this yeast is being used in bread or even in cakes or to ferment a particular product. Now when this yeast is being soaked for a longer time, it develops an elongation which looks like that of the bulb. You can see here an elongation is being produced which resembles like the bud. Then the nucleus divides itself into two parts and the smaller nucleus enters into the elongation which is then called as the bud. Then the brood increases and the daughter cell is being produced. N number of daughter cells are being produced by this method of budding. This is how yeast reproduces itself by the process of budding. Now we proceed to asexual reproduction in multicellular organisms. Now in multicellular organisms there are 5 methods. The first method is fragmentation, the second one is regeneration, third one is budding, fourth is vegetative propagation, and the fifth is spore formation. Now what do you mean by fragments? Fragments literally means small pieces. In this method we are going to learn how Spirogyra reproduces by the method of fragmentation. When there are favorable conditions, large amount of nutrients are being available to the Spirogyra. The Spirogyra divides itself into 1, 2 and 3 fragments. It develops all the necessary organs for it to grow into mature Spirogyra, and then it splits up into a individual Spirogyra. So from one parent Spirogyra, there are 3 individual Spirogyras which are being produced. Such type of method is called as fragmentation. Now the next method is regeneration. You all would have heard or seen a lizard in your house, isn't it? You must have noticed that sometimes the lizard is without a tail, but within a few days you see a small tail is being growing. How does this happen? The lizard regenerates the lost parts by the process of regeneration. So also in case of planaria, it reproduces itself by the process of regeneration. Can you see the parent planaria over there? It divides itself into three parts: the head, the thorax and the tail part. Now each individual part, the head portion redevelops the thorax and the tail part. The middle thorax portion also redevelops the head portion and the tail portion, and if the tail part is there, that develops the head portion and the thorax portion. So the lost part of the original parent body reproduces the parts which are not there, and that's how a new individual is being produced by the process of regeneration. Now we proceed to the next step, that is budding in multicellular organisms. We take an example of Hydra. Remember students, we had also seen budding in case of yeast, but yeast is a unicellular organism, while as Hydra is a multicellular organism. Now we will see in detail how Hydra develops or reproduces itself by budding. You can see when enough of nutrients are being present, the parent body develops an elongation at the tail portion over here. You can see this elongation is nothing but the bud which is being reproducing. Slowly as time passes, accepting all the nutrients from the parent plant, the blood starts developing into a mature bud, where all the body organs in the bud are being formed by taking all the nutrients from the parent Hydra. Once the new bud is being mature, it is being detached from the parent plant and it individually survives as a new individual. So this is the method where Hydra reproduces itself by the method of budding. Now the next method of asexual reproduction is by vegetative parts. Students, you very well know which are the vegetative parts. You may say the vegetative parts are the roots, the stems, the leaves and the flowers. Of course, some of the plants reproduce from their vegetative parts. Now here you can see a picture of bryophyllum. Okay, a leaflet of bryophyllum is being fallen into the soil. You can see the margins, and the margins you can see small plantlets are being developed into a new plantlet. So this is how bryophyllum reproduces itself by the help of leaf. Now you very well know leaf is the vegetative part of the plant. You can also see a potato over here. You can see from the eyes of the potato, small plantlets are being developed, and these plantlets become into a new plant of the potato. Actually, if you go to see, I have got some original specimen. Here I am going to show you. This is a leaf of a bryophyllum, and from the leaflet you can see a small plantlet which is being grown here. So in local language you also call it as panputti. Now the next method of reproduction which I already explained is the potato. You can see these eyes of potato. As its potatoes are stored for a longer time, these eyes of the potato grow into small plantlets and new plants of potato are being produced. Can you see here? Yes. So these are the methods by which plants grow through the vegetative part of the plant. Now we will see the next method, that is spore formation. You all would have smelt at home. Some food items are being smelling. Your mother opens and sees. Now why does this food item smell? We very well know during the rainy season there is lot of humidity, because of which these spores which are being on the food grains start forming small colonies of fungi. These can appear in the form of small black or brown spots. For example, here we are going to take a piece of bread in which fungus has been grown. In fungus we are going to see about mucor. When you observe these brown spots under microscope, this mucor appears to have branch-like structures which are called as hyphae, and an elongated erect hyphae which is called as the sporangiophore. And at the tip of the sporangiophore you can see a ball-like structure. That ball-like structure is called the sporangium. Inside the sporangium are produced spores. Now these spores after a certain period of time become mature, and these sporangium bursts open, and the spores are being scattered in the nearby areas, when the spores again germinate and form into a new fungi. With this we finish with the asexual method of reproduction. Now let us have a brief revision of whatever we have learned. What did we learn in asexual reproduction? In asexual reproduction there are two types. First is in unicellular organism, the next one is in multicellular organism. In unicellular organism we learned three methods: binary fission, multiple fission and budding. In case of multicellular organism we learned 5 methods. The first method is fragmentation, second regeneration, third budding, fourth vegetative propagation, and the fifth one is spore formation. Now with this we wind up with this session of asexual reproduction. In the next session we shall concentrate on sexual reproduction in plants as well as in animals. Thank you.